We thank God for another wonderful morning, Saturday morning, and meeting you this morning. It's a blessing. Today is we are in Easter celebration, and today is Holy Saturday, as we call it. And we're going to continue our conversation that we started last week about career and guidance counseling. And I just want to say that you pay attention to the things that we share with you, and make notes and learn from the things that we share with you on this program. I want to welcome those of you in the Volta region, who FM 92.5. If you are listening to us, we want to say thank you very much for connecting with us. And I believe that as you listen to us this morning, you're going to learn a lot. And also, I will ask that you share the link to your friends to also be part of the discussion. You can get us on our YouTube channel. That's a Transformation Agenda series on education on YouTube. You can also get us on Class 91.3 FM on Facebook. You can get us on the Transformation Agenda series page on Facebook, WORDRADIO GH page on Facebook, and then classfmonline.com. Stay tuned, and I believe that you enjoy the show today. You be educated, and you will receive information that will transform your life. So this is One and On You, said by James Amar, sung by the Harmonious Chorals.
This is a Transformation Agenda series on education with Abraham Adu. This is the Transformation Agenda series on education with Abraham Adu. Transformation Agenda series on education, your most educative Transformation Agenda series on education, your most educative program on
Good morning to you, Honorable Dr. Yao Osei Educho. Wherever you are, God bless you. God keep you. God strengthen you. Good morning to you, Honorable Reverend John Intim Fojo. Good morning to you, Honorable Gifty Chuman Pofo. Good morning to you, Mr. Paddy. Good morning to you, Lawyer Ejari. Good morning to you, Auntie Agi, Madam Sharon, Madam Afran. Good morning to you, Mr. Dechi. Good morning to you, all the directors of education, the 16 regions of Ghana, all teachers. Those of you who are working in our institutions, helping that we achieve success. God bless you, all of you. All students, God bless you.
This is the Transformation Agenda series on education.
And you who is listening to us this morning, I want to say God bless you. Now, so this is Easter. Let's have some 3 words to share with you, and then we'll start our conversation. So in John 3:16, the Bible said, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life." In Genesis 22, the Bible said, God said to Abraham, "Now take now thy son, thy only son Isaac, whom you love, and go and sacrifice him for me. I will show you where you're going to make that sacrifice." Now, Easter teaches us 3 things. Number 1, you have to learn how to sacrifice. Go the extra mile. A lot of us are working in offices, in companies, wherever we find ourselves. We refuse to sacrifice. You only do it when you can do it. You need to sacrifice your comfort. You need to sacrifice your intellect. You need to sacrifice your strength. If you will rise and become anything in this life, you have to learn to sacrifice. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. He told Abraham, give me your son, the one you love. God was specific. He said, give me the one you love, your only son Isaac, whom you love. So in order for us to progress in life and achieve success in life, let's learn to sacrifice. Sometimes you don't receive money for the things you do, but sacrifice. If you're not prepared to sacrifice, you're going nowhere. So that's the first lesson you learn from Easter. The second lesson you learn, tomorrow is a Resurrection Sunday. Remember in John chapter 20, Bible says, early morning, Mary Magdalene and the rest went to the tomb. When they got that Jesus wasn't there, he has resurrected. And the Bible says he went and called the disciples, and they ran to the tomb. When they came to the tomb, they saw the tomb empty. You know what happened? The rest of the disciples left the place and went, but Mary stood still. She waited until Jesus appeared unto her. Don't just be in a hurry to move. You have to learn to wait. Sometimes you are given some assignment to do at the office. Don't just say, "Yabo 5 into my pong." You have to stay sometimes for some time and extract and do something. Add something to it. If you are a woman and you are serving, somebody gives you money to cook for them. You don't only cook the food and say you've cooked the food. You have to also go extra mile to serve the food, wait for them to eat and remove the plates. So that's the extra mile you go. If you are working anywhere, you have been given something to do. You were asked to sweep the room. You should know that whilst you are sweeping, there will be dust settling on the tables or the chairs. After sweeping, you must clean it. You must learn to go the extra mile. The extra mile. These are lessons you learn from Easter. Extra mile. Don't just say, I was asked to do this, and once I've finished, I'm not going to do anything. No. If you want to see glory, you want to see God's mercy and glory in your life, what you need to do is to learn to go the extra mile. The third lesson you learn from Easter is that when people trust you, don't betray them. The disciples of Jesus, they were 12. You should trust somebody enough to give them your money to keep for you, isn't it? You don't just ask anyone in your church to be the financial secretary or the treasurer or whatever. You have to choose somebody you trust to do that, take that role or that responsibility. Jesus trusted Judas enough to give him a role to play, to keep the church's money, and he betrayed him. Some of us, people have given us opportunity to be close to them, and we go out there and expose them. Some of the secrets that we found about them, we go there and we are telling people. Go on social media, you see people who were friends. They were friends, they were close. Something happens and you see them on social media coming out and disgracing, exposing things that they were not supposed to do. When someone trusts you, don't betray them. These are lessons you learn from Easter. Learn to be trusted. Somebody gave you access to their home. They invited you to their bedroom. They invited you to their hall. They invited you to your kitchen. Now, all you can do is to go out there and start telling people what you saw there. You are a betrayer. You got close to somebody and saw their weakness, and now you are coming out and using it against them. You are a betrayer. You must learn to be trusted. When you get close to people, learn to close your mouth. There's not everything you see that you have to say. Even if it's not everything, even if it is good. You see, gossip is saying something about somebody, good or evil, that you can't repeat in their presence. That is gossip. That's my definition of gossip. When you are saying something good about somebody or bad about somebody that you can't repeat in their presence, you are gossiping. So I encourage you this morning, try as much as possible. Number one, to sacrifice, go the extra mile. Go the extra mile. Sacrifice your time, sacrifice your sleep, sacrifice your comfort. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your marriage for the sake of your life, your own life. For the sake, you have to sacrifice your marriage. You have to sacrifice your food sometimes to be able to fast. The Bible said, they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not grow weary. They shall walk and not faint. So you have to learn to sacrifice. You have to learn to wait. Be patient. Be patient. Be patient. When Mary stood, Jesus appeared unto him. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry. The third thing is that don't be trusted. Be trusted. Don't be a betrayer. God bless you.
This is the Transformation Agenda series on education with Abraham Adu. This is the Transformation Agenda series on education with Abraham Adu. Transformation Agenda series on education, your most innovative program on
Translated 1.3 FM. Translated 1.3 FM. Now that's my station.
This is Class 91.3.
This is the Transformation Agenda series on education with
This is Class 91.3.
Good morning once again and welcome. This is the Transformation Agenda series on education sponsored by the Ministry of Education. Now, today we're going to continue a conversation that we started last week, career and guidance counseling. And I have my guest in the studio. I have Madam Gifty Mensah, who is a national coordinator for guidance and career counseling, Ghana TVET service. And I also have Mr. Aaron Chum Akwabua, who is the strategic and innovation director at the Ministry of Education. We are blessed to have these great personalities from the Ministry of Education to have this wonderful conversation. I would like you to share the link to your friends and also tell your friends to connect to Class FM 91.3 and Whole FM 92.5. Good morning once again. Good morning to you, Mr. Aaron Akwabua and Madam Gifty Mensah. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I think you should get closer to your microphone so we can hear your beautiful voices.
Good morning. Bishop.
Great. All right. Great. You are blessed. All right, Ms. Aaron, how are you, Akwabua?
I'm very well.
It's been a long time. We miss you, Papa.
We shall miss you.
we are going to get Mr. Solomon Atete too. We've missed him, Papa. We've missed him so much. All right, so thank you very much. So last week we started a conversation on career and guidance counseling. You were not around, so I'll ask you first. What's your understanding about career and guidance counseling?
So it's interesting because I think that now we're actually discussing and using the word career within the guidance space.
Okay.
It usually was thinking of guidance counseling or even just counseling.
Okay.
What we were discussing. And so I really appreciate the fact that the career portion has been added to it.
Okay.
And I also like the fact that the guidance is taking prominence.
Okay.
Because it's literal. It's like guide, right? So, for example, if a person is blind, in many jurisdictions, they have a seeing eye dog or a guidance dog that allows them and helps them to navigate their world.
Okay.
So we as guidance individuals and guidance support people are to help people navigate their world. It's not because they are falling into a major problem before they get that guidance.
Okay.
It's the guidance that they need in general. So I really appreciate the fact that career has been added, that guidance is at the forefront, and that we are going to talk about the holistic child and every single Ghanaian student and how we are able to support them
Okay.
to achieve their goals.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, let me ask. You have a child who is in class 1. Let's look at counseling in education. You have a child who is in class 1. From class 1 up to the time that the child finishes school, what sort of counseling should a child go through in all these processes to complete school?
That's an interesting question. But if we talk about it in general, let's talk about the totality again. It's the guidance, the career, and the counseling. I really want to even start with defining what the counseling really represents.
Okay.
I want us to remember that the counseling does not mean emergency-based counseling or just psychosocial counseling because my child is depressed or they have a problem. It's all the counseling that we've all received. So, for example, Kweku, when you are standing in a queue, you should stand still. You should not turn around. You should not do A, B, C, and D. You should not cut someone in the queue to attempt to go above them. That is a part of the counseling process or the guidance process that may not be done in the classroom. So truly, all of the counseling that student will receive, we can argue that it's all of the out of classroom and sometimes in classroom direct socialization that's being provided by the school.
Okay.
So don't think of the counseling as a special place to go only. It's part of the curriculum. It's part of the training. So the counseling is a training. The guidance is the training too. So let's make sure we don't separate those things. Because I'm telling you, the majority of people outside of education in the world, not just in Ghana, will say that counseling is for those who have trouble. And my child doesn't have trouble, so they shouldn't be involved. That's not true. It's just to support and to guide. So that's one way to make sure the definition is there. But as far as the counseling goes, it should be counseling that is direct, it is supportive, and supports that young person to be able to socialize properly and understand their world and the context they're in.
Great.
That's what I think.
Great. All right. Madam Gimfi Mensa. Yes, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
You are tired. You were at the northern region.
Yes, I came yesterday evening.
And then you are here this morning.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's the job.
That's great. You are working very hard for this country. Last week we were with you and we learned a lot from you. Now today I want to ask us to talk about the benefits that one receives when one is taken through or like giving that education or guidance. What benefits do one get if one goes through guidance and counseling?
Thank you very much. Like what Aaron said, with the guidance aspect is about information giving.
Okay.
You give the child enough information for the child to be well informed about so many other things.
Okay.
About the career, about how the person should behave, character training, mindset, and all that. So if we should talk about absence of guidance, it makes the child get information from other sources.
Okay.
I remember when I was a teenager, someone told me that if you don't have sex before you are 18, it's like you behave abnormally. You see, where did they get this from? Is it from the psychologist or it's from their own thinking? But you see, if there's a guidance and counseling personnel around, or if the child gets guidance, then he will know that this is not true. Because there are other people who lived without that, and they are very intelligent, they are very brilliant, they are going on with their jobs. But these days, that's how most children think. And that is why it's very important for you to get the guidance, as Aaron said, whether in the school or outside the school system. But the reason why all these problems have now been channeled to the school is that most parents don't get time to have this interaction with their children. And that is why now the burden is
on the schools.
Yes, it's on the schools. And that is why if a nation wants to produce assertive citizens, it wants to produce citizens who will actually be responsible and be beneficial to the society and to the country as a whole, then you have to employ guidance and counselors in the schools so that they guide these children not to go wayward. And we also have a way of tracking the child's traits, behavior, and other things through personality inventories by the counselor. And this is going to help the child to also know the career path. telling the child about the prospects and everything about which of the careers he wants to choose. This is going to also help the children, because you see a number of university students, you ask them and they tell you that, oh, the courses that were, the combination of the courses says nothing. When you are done, you can just work at the bank, you can just go anywhere. In fact, that is exactly what is going around. You get your first degree and you are okay, you can work anywhere. But that shouldn't be the case. And that is how Ghanaians talk. But at least if you have the counselor who builds a portfolio on that child, it will also help the child to know that this is what I'm going to do, and whoever comes from the industry to want to employ the child will also know from the child's record. People want to travel outside to US, they ask them to bring their history about yourself. They go to their schools and they can't find any, and because of that, that person misses the visa, the chance of going outside, because we don't build portfolio on the student. I remember when we are writing exams and you tell me that 30% is for continuous assessment and 70% is one-time exams. How can that be? If you are able to build the portfolio of the child, you wouldn't take 30% for the 5 years or 3 years that have been in school, and then only one time sitting 70%. Is that fair? But you see, if you have a structured program that tracks the child's progress, then you will know that during exam time anything could happen. The child could fall sick, any other thing, you can have accident and all that. So we rather take the 70% for the continuous assessment and maybe 30% for one time sitting. But because we don't have those structures in place, that is why I think things are like that. But I think going forward, since the minister is so passionate and keen about the restructuring of guidance and counseling, I think it's going to work out for us.
All right, thank you very much. I'm just, when you are speaking, and what Mr. Kwabwa said and what you just said, I'm just thinking loud. You realize that the responsibility of giving children counseling should have come from both sides. And you made mention that because parents are now busy, can we get to a point where we have counseling centers, not only within the school, but counseling centers, maybe like we have community centers, counseling center structures that are built where parents can just go there and enter. I know my child is completing junior high school 2023. I take my son together, we go to the counseling center. There's a personnel there who is sitting in an office. We enter the office, we book an appointment, we sit down for hour or 30 or whatever minute. We sit down there, we ask questions. So by the time we are getting out of the place, we have been adequately informed about the choices that we make, so that when we even miss the counseling at the school, we have like hospital. I believe that counseling centers should be just like we have hospitals in every community, where you could just go to the place, go and seek counseling. Now I'm asking this and put the question to Mr. Kwabwa. Minister has been talking about, Madam just said, that you have people who just choose courses, or people who are just in the university and they will tell them do a first degree and you just get job. Now, what should we do in terms of giving these people the counseling they need, so that you don't just go and say you're going to do any course, but then you have been put in a particular line and you know that this is where you are going to, so that you don't just say, like Minister has several times made the same statement, that you have people who will be employed, and that is the problem we have. I think it connects with even the free senior high school placement. I was speaking to somebody who said, I went to the school and I was not given science, so I was asked to go and do art, and I said, no, we want people to do science. We are even having pre-engineering courses, and so if you are to do science and they have refused you to do science and say go and do it, when your passion was to become a science student, to become an engineer, then what is it? But then I find out that people who go to schools and they are refused certain subjects didn't choose the school. That was not part of the schools that they chose. They actually decided to go to that school, maybe to go and seek for admission And when you go there, because the school has already taken 50 people for science, they will not ask you to do science. They will tell you we have place for art. So if you want art, so you have to say that I made a choice. I decided to go to a particular school, and because I went to that school and the school was full, that is why the school is now giving me the art or the general home econs to whatever. You understand? But what are we going to do so that we have people who are not doing courses because they feel like, when I finish, I'll get job. But then we have people who have been, guided so much that they go like, if I'm not getting the science this year, I'm not going to go to school. I'm going to wait because science is what I want to do.
So you've asked.
So you go closer to your microphone. We like your voice.
You've asked so many different questions.
Yes.
And I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because I feel, I don't want to sound pompous, but I think I have a lot of the answers to those
Great.
questions.
Yeah.
Number one, I am not directly a fan of the counseling center idea.
Okay.
And let me explain that to you. Because what you discussed about going to the counseling center with your young man in 2023, the soldier, right?
Yeah.
So Soja, you're going to go with Soja 2023 to go deal with BC and the rest.
Yes.
Why is it that in his school there isn't one or two people assigned to every JSS student to say if there's two counselors?
Yeah.
There should be someone that is going to do last name, surname A to M, and another one who will do surname N to Z. And throughout the year, they'll meet with them.
Okay.
And they'll send the reports home. And if your parent doesn't sign the reports, I'll call the house and say that your child, during the mock testing, it looks like they will be getting aggregate 15. The best category A school for them would be this. Or in fact, 15 would not give them a category A. So let's focus on this, and that.
Okay.
Also, it also looks like their raw score would be like this. Because, for example, I have family friends who tell me, oh, Kweku, I got an 8. So I should be given this high level category A. And I say, do you see your raw score? Because the raw score for that school is 515. You are 495. So even your friend with the 9, for whatever reason, they have a higher raw score and they got the school. People in Ghana don't know about raw score. People in Ghana in general don't know about the how and why the categories are set up. So why do I need to go to an external source when we pay taxes and we have counselors on site? Put the counselors there with them, speak with them, and then communicate with the parents. I believe every school in this country should be a hub. Every public primary school should be a hub where parents can feel comfortable to go and ask the questions. Where a counselor should be able to call the home and say, ma, da, auntie, wherever you are, this is the concern we have, and we need to work this way. Do you see where I'm coming
Yes,
from?
yeah.
So that's to answer that portion of the question. Now, the next portion of the question is this. We've done a lot of work in starting and revamping the curriculum itself. There's some goals in the updated secondary school curriculum, for example, that says that everyone should do a certain amount of science. How can you walk into secondary school and not do biology, not do chemistry, not physics, not even 1 year? Why? In a country that wants to move and grow, you're telling me that you're not going to expose our 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old young men and women to science. That's silly. In a country that says we want to be more creative, if you take science in Ghanaian secondary schools, you don't take visual arts at all. The new curriculum is put in place where there's more flexibility and availability, that even if your focus is science, is general arts, is this and that, you will take enough of the core subjects to be strong enough to pass the WASI. So let's argue that you want to go and do a biology later in university.
Okay.
Even though you didn't do the science, you have enough biology to take the WASI.
Sure.
You see? So that's another option, right? And I think you talked about being assertive enough. That is where the counseling and guidance comes in, right? Where we're actually doing guidance and counseling for the teachers. Imagine if your teacher doesn't believe you're intelligent. Where does that lead you? If your teacher doesn't believe you're intelligent and refuses to give you a subject because they think it's too difficult for you, your whole life will be stopped. Yes or no?
Yeah.
We've heard that story millions of times in this country. But that teacher herself needed counseling. So the guidance and counseling people will be in charge of training the teachers in positive mindset.
Great.
And a mindset that says anyone can do anything if we train them. Because our teachers at a certain point also don't have the mindset. I went to a school just this past week, and I said, hey, you're a mixed school. How many students are here for robotics? We're doing robotics class. 16 students, 3 women. And I said, mixed school, 3 women out of 16. How and why? Oh, they didn't come. I said, you didn't advertise. And the instructor was a male. And let's remember that 77% of all secondary school teachers in Ghana are male. So that's going to replicate the process that science is for men. So I told him, if you don't have 40% young women in this program, we won't give you the funding. You see? Because I'm coming from a counseling mindset.
Okay.
A mindset that says that we have to develop everyone in our school. I said, how many people in this room are doing general arts and also doing robotics? He says 2. He says, I thought the program was supposed to be for science students only. You see, the lack of guidance for him to understand that anyone can do robotics. You see? So even our teachers, even our head teachers, need the guidance and counseling first, even before they have their mind ready to do what? Counsel and guide our young people.
Mercy.
So the problem is high level. So hopefully I was able to answer most of
Great. Thank you very much. Madam Gifty Mensah, Mr. Kwaba just mentioned the fact that the teacher, you mentioned this last week as well. Okay. So you were saying that every school need a counselor who should just be exempted from other duties, just focus on counseling. And I asked if you have a student, a population of 1,000, how many counselors? You mentioned 5, that each should take about 200, which is even too much for a teacher. Now you have teachers who also need counseling. So if you don't have a counselor in a school now currently, and the teachers there need counseling, what is happening to the students?
Can I jump in for a second?
No, let.
You see, like you rightly said, if a blind man is leading
the blind,
what will happen? You see, and I heard something about the minister saying something about garbage in, garbage out. If the teachers themselves are lost, they don't even find their way. They don't have the positive mindset. They didn't have any character training. How are they going to help the students? But you see, when you go through the counseling courses, you go through all these things, you are taught, even if you are not that kind of person, at least through training, you could actually change a bit. But you see, even with the counseling itself, before you become a counselor or a teacher, you also need personality traits inventory tests for whoever is ushering you into that particular career. We know that you have that background. But because we don't do all these things, most people just enter the job because that is the only available and the only opportunity the person can have.
Are you not pushing for the training colleges that are training teachers to make sure that at least maybe 30 to, because I mean counseling is very important, like you said, maybe a certain percentage of their training should be focused on counseling? Because if you are teaching so well, but perhaps the way you even talk to students, like Mr. Kwabwa just said,
they actually do. But you see, it is not actually defined. And that is why the other time I was talking about defining that aspect of the courses that we go through. Maybe mindset and character training. You see, so that when the person goes through that, he knows that I'm going through this to change my attitude, to change my character. But because it's just taught as a course and they also teach it in a way that you might not even feel that this is what you are supposed to do, you have to go through that training and even assess the teachers on that training to make sure that they are doing the right thing. Formerly, when we went to the training college, you go to the classroom, they look at the classroom situation and they see how you handle the student, how you interact with them. Are they doing it now? Or whoever is the supervisor, does he even know how he should even go about it? This is our problem, because this counseling thing has been silent for a very long time, and that is why it's affecting our schools. Our students are not assertive, the teachers themselves are not assertive. Sometimes somebody goes to the schools and something that you've used your taxpayers' money to pay for, a privilege, a right, they deny you. What do? They just leave. Even if they report to you and you want to take the headmaster on, they rather beg you, please, madam, just let it die. We don't want any trouble. I don't want to get involved, and I'll be invited here and there. So that is our character. And I think if we actually want to make the counseling job to be so well, then it should start from the training colleges where the teachers are being trained. But see, even in the training colleges, they don't do counseling as a course. It's only at the universities.
Oh, okay.
So if you go to University of Education, formally it was even a post-diploma course. You can't do it straight away.
Okay.
A straight degree course in counseling. And if you go to KVAS, I think they do straight psychology in degree. Then the second degree, you actually do the guidance and counseling. So I think maybe we have to also change the curriculum in a way, since we are actually stressing on career training. Because look at the changing trends. If you don't go that way,
Yeah, you mentioned that last week.
Yes, it will be very difficult for us. Because somebody might even be in a career and want to even change into another career. The person would have to need counseling. He would need somebody to talk to. And that is the way to go.
Wow.
Yes, please. You want
Yes,
to add
you
something?
wanted to, yeah.
Thank you. So everything that Madam Mensa said makes 100% sense. Something I would add also is that I know that with the new B.Ed program, that Bachelor's Education program in the community, in the college of education, something that we've been doing is that embedding a lot of the in-service activities within the education sphere, right? So when they are going to classes, they're also doing some of the counseling type of ideas and the mindset things. But the issue is this: the first group just graduated in November of 2022.
Okay.
So they haven't impacted the classroom yet. They're coming into classrooms, but they're only like 2% of the total teaching population. So as we keep graduating these students, we will also get stronger, more well-informed teachers. I think that's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, it doesn't take anything huge to counsel the teachers. So, for example, people go to CPD. Why don't we make certain things like social emotional learning part of the CPD? It's very simple, because people are saying that I went to CPD, I learned it, and I use it in my classroom. So the CPD should also be about social emotional learning, about positive mindset training. Number one. Number two, imagine if instead of when, let's say the students will come back January 5th, or let's say February 5th, the students come back February 5th. January 15th, we as teachers come to school early. And for that week, who is doing the training?
Okay.
The counselors and the head teacher are training you on how you approach the students.
Great.
So it's built in. And we can petition for NTC from CPD points, or we can give you a stipend, do something, so that it's already built in. So annually, every year, we solve some kind of problem that we have through guidance and counseling. So for example, right now, I could probably guarantee, I could probably put my paycheck as a bet that 50% of Ghanaian teachers don't know all the university options in the country.
Wow.
If you are a secondary school teacher, do you know every university option in this country? Private, public, trade school, technical school? No. So what if someone spent 2 days with you just teaching you the tertiary thing? What if we have the director tertiary create a video that just shows us all these things, or a brochure? So now when a student comes to us and says, me, they're Legon, and you look at him and say, the type of student you are, you'd be great for Accra Technical University.
Okay.
Why should I go to technical? Because it may cost a little less. You can do this, you can do that, and I have someone who can get you a job. So I'm giving you career and tertiary counseling.
Okay.
And all it took was a brochure. We are not saying that we change everything and now we have these people go to another set of classes and school and spend money. We are not using the resources on our campuses. Do you believe that if I was to do a series of videos like this interview,
Yes.
and turn it into an online course,
Okay.
and we gave it to the teachers for free, it will not benefit? It's a waste of our time to always say, you're going to my classroom, baby. Let's put everyone in the classroom. Let's go feed them. Let's learn. So we can get the teachers to learn, understand the problems that we have, and then we can move forward in supporting our students. We don't want to wait until it's a major problem. We don't want to wait until the person is so depressed they want suicide. We want to find out what is wrong with you. How can we help you? And then we don't have to worry about those other things. The last thing I'll say is this. I think there's also a disrespect for counseling in regards to being a teacher versus a counselor.
Okay.
I think there's an issue that the counseling departments have been pushed to the side. They've been sidelined. They've been told, oh, you only deal with the bad students, or you only deal with the ones with problems. You only deal with the weak students. Now, you see? So there's this kind of disconnection between those things, where the counseling people are dealing with all students. And any student can be a student that needs counseling.
Okay.
And there's a lack of respect for the counselors in our system. So many counselors, knowing that they have some teaching duties and counseling duties, even though they'll be paid the same, would rather be in the classroom because they're respected more.
It's true.
So that's the issue too. So we have to even do the education on respecting the individuals who are providing the counseling services themselves.
And the counseling is very important. Very, very, very important. Anyway, you are listening to the Transformation Agenda series on education, and we are discussing career and guidance counseling. I'm here with Madam Gifty Mensah, National Coordinator for Guidance and Career Counseling, Ghana TVET Service, and Mr. Aaron Chum Akwabua, Strategic and Innovation Director at the Ministry of Education. Be reminded that this program is proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, and you can now call us on 0302 20 80 80, 0302 20 80 80. If you are listening to us from whole in the Volta region, you are listening to us from the Volta region, you are listening to us in Accra, any part of this country, you can call us on 0302 20 80 and share with us. There's someone on the line. Let's pick this call. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Please, how are you?
I'm well in yourself.
We are good by His grace. What's your name and where are you calling us from, please?
My name is Akusa and I'm calling from Abokobi.
Akusia from Abokobi. Please talk to us.
Okay, I followed your series last week and today too. I continue on listening it.
Great.
I think it's very important for us to consider guidance and counseling, even at the primary level when you started talking about it at the beginning of the present.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening. Hello, Akusia. I'm listening. Hello, Akusia.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Akusia, you have to call back. Sorry. Good morning. Somebody has just passed through. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Yeah, I'm just listening to your program. It's very educative.
God bless you. Please, what's your name, sir? What's your name, sir?
My name is David, please.
All right, so talk to you. You're calling us from where, please?
From Dansoman.
Dansoman, okay.
Yeah. I want if Mr. Akwaba could talk a little bit louder, or maybe the mic could get closer to him.
Okay.
That would be fine. Yeah.
All right, so Mr. Akwabua, we want to God bless you. Thank you very much, David. All right. Hello, good morning. All right. So you can still call us 0302 2080. Good morning. Hello.
This is Akusia.
Akusia, thank you very much for calling back. So continue your...
I was saying that we need to pay more attention to the basic level when it comes to guidance and counseling.
Okay.
That is where everything starts. That is where people start to develop interest in different careers or different fields.
Great.
So we need to pay attention to the basic education, tailor children's interest to what we think they can do. Most of the times we say that, I want my child to be a doctor, but you've not really asked them or helped the child to explore anything when it comes to medicine. And how do you let the child go into medicine if he or she is not be like explored the whole thing like he or she needs to explore. So for me, it needs to start from the basic level. We lack counseling. I work in the educational field in the private sector, and for that place, it's even better than the government sector. But the government sector, children are just going to basic 1 to JSSA, they complete, they will choose the 3 girls, okay, after mind, they will have it, they are given general art, and that is it. And when they get to the university, now you have to go and do humanities because you did general art. And it's like, that is not what I wanted to do. And people find themselves wanting in so many areas of their life. Even the counselors themselves are struggling because some of them didn't choose the career.
All right. Thank you very much. God bless you, Akusia. Thanks for calling. All right. So I think what she said, Minister has been talking about engineering as a STEM education. And if you go to the Accra STEM Center, I think that's what's happening there. They are trying to get all the children there, those from the junior high school, even the primary school, who go there to create a career pathway. So you go there to study robotics and all that, and then it boosts your interest so that you are able to go to a STEM school because you have the foundation. I think that's being done. And I think we should just go ahead and do more. You can still call us on 0302 2080 0302 2080. So what is being done by the ministry concerning this challenge that we are talking about?
So first thing is that we've been, when I say we, myself and Madam Mensah,
okay,
and the national coordinator for counseling, guidance and counseling at GES.
Okay.
Also, another Madam Gifty.
Yeah.
We've been set to design a updated counseling process.
Okay.
Obviously, we also have to do the drafts, have ministers see it, go through the process of stakeholder consultation and the rest. But something that we've discussed is that we are going to actually break career guidance and counseling into 4 particular strands.
Okay.
Number 1, you have academic counseling, meaning like the Kosia was saying.
All right. Thank you very much. There's someone. Let's talk to the person. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Joseph Azure.
Joseph Azure. Good morning. Thank you very much for calling. Talk to us.
I call to contribute to the program. I say thank you for the good work you are doing for Mother Ghana.
Great.
And then also you realize that it's true all what you are saying, and the first contributor is actually true. A lot of students are lost, and because they are struggling with career choices, just because they didn't have any proper guidance, either from both parents or from even the school. And this is very worrisome. So since this program will go a long way to enhance what we are all looking for. Thank you.
All right. God bless you so much for calling. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hello. There's somebody else on the line. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
My name is Afua.
Afua, talk to us, please. Afua.
Please, I have a little concern.
Okay,
it's
talk.
All about the education, but this concern is from the school, Mauli Secondary School.
Okay.
That I've heard students have been coughing in the school, and they are coughing blood and other stuff. You know, I think the whole Form 3s have been going through that.
Okay. So what I want you to do is please give your number to my producer. We'll call you and follow up with what you're saying. Okay. All right, Afua. Please pick Afua's number and let me talk to you after. All right. There's someone else on the line. Good morning. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Please, it's Auntie Fanny.
Fanny from Auntie Fanny. God bless you for calling us again.
Bless you too, sir.
How is Hope?
By the grace of Papa God, we are doing well.
Great. So Auntie Fanny, talk to us.
Okay, please, I want to contribute to the program.
Contribute, mommy.
Okay. Please, I thank Mommy, the counselor, about our children's future career.
Great.
So, like, as a mother in my side, I'm a health worker.
Okay.
So, the counseling must start from the basic education as Mommy has stated it.
Yeah.
So, like now, when you look at the environment or some of the institutions, especially in my sector, health sector, most of the nurses that we are having now, excuse me to say, that is not their background or their field. So, excuse me to say, they are just doing anything anyhow to our clients.
Wow.
They don't even know the ethic of our the code of our ethics in nursing. The ethics that a nurse has to carry or to have. A nurse must be tolerant and all this. A nurse must be compassionate. They don't have even one of this
counseling ethics.
Yes,
okay.
Because they haven't gone through any counseling concerning nursing. So they are just doing anything anyhow.
Okay.
On the field, killing patients here and there. So as for the counseling, it's very important.
Thank you very much.
For we, the parents and the nurses and the institution as a whole.
Thank you
for the great job.
God bless you so much. Sorry, we have a lot of people on the line. Let's just talk to them. Please be brief when you call so we can talk to other people. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, Mr. Kwabwa.
Yes.
Hello, good morning. All right, so call back if you didn't get through.
In attempting to answer that question,
yes,
what we are looking to do is that we're going to do a 4-pronged type of attack.
Okay.
So you have academic counseling that is geared to teaching young people from class 1 all the way through about what they should be learning and how they should be learning it, right? And then also giving in learning interventions.
Okay.
So that academic counselor will be directly tied in with the inclusive education people,
Okay.
anyone that needs to provide interventions. So you did not do so well in class 1. Well, how can we support you so you won't be lost? So that academic will go all the way from kindergarten through to SS3. Right? Now we're talking about career and tertiary counseling.
Okay.
Meaning that we're going to have someone whose sole job is to connect our students with internships.
Oh, okay.
To connect our students with field trips and excursions. It would be great if you're in class 5 and those of you who said you wanted to be a lawyer, we can go to Ministry of Justice. We can go and we can interview people there. We can even have someone come to us. Career day to me sometimes is so hollow because they dress up, but they don't write the essay about why, and they don't tell you why they want to be the lawyer. Because if you ask people, you dig deep, they want to because of financial purposes. Outside of I want to save the world.
All right.
I want things to be more just.
Okay,
So
let's pick this call. We continue. Hello. Great. Good morning. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Jackson. I'm calling from Teshi, Guinness Junction.
Oh, okay. Talk to us, sir.
So I have a school friend who is schooling in Adan Technical Institute.
Okay.
When he got to the school, the course he wanted to read was fashion designing.
Okay.
He started, but the mother told him that he had to do building and construction because his brother thought that people doing building and construction are making money. This is his second year. His spirit is never agreeing with what he's studying, and he cannot say anything to his parents for him to help him change it. It is his second year. Can anything be done about this because his future is unaligned with what he's doing?
Thank you very much.
What can be done to help this gentleman?
I think I will please, can you answer?
Yeah. So I cannot answer in a particular for that person, but I can answer in a general.
Yes.
Back to what we talked about with academic.
Yeah.
Those academic counselors are going to intercede on behalf of the children because the child may be able to say, I want fashion design, and the parent will override. But if the school is able to provide very good reasons and then also support the child in doing the research to see the growth trajectory of that field. So the building design person may be making 50,000 Ghana in the future. But in the future, the fashion design might be making 60,000. How do we know that without the research and support of the counselor? So that is how we are going to start kind of dealing with this. Parent wants this, child wants that issue, because we can prove to the parents what is best.
Okay, so now looking at this particular case, yes.
Because if you are able to build the portfolio on the child, you can even open it up to the parents.
Okay.
That the child is doing well in these areas. So if you ask him to change the
and that's what we don't do.
Yes, that's what we don't do.
So we have to start
any records even on the children.
Okay, but let's try and help our brother who just called. What should he do?
With the changing
of the subject. He said that the child is informed too.
I remember I brought this thing out, that is the changing of subject that flexible for a child to move from one
he's informed too
to the other course.
That's not what
saying that if it is there as a system, that the system can allow you to change,
okay
then he could change. But the system wouldn't allow you after first year, because you have only 3 years to go through your course. And how can you change your course only in the second year? And now the TVET system is running a dual system. So when you learn your practicals and theory in the classroom, immediately you vacate, you are attached to an industry. So how is it going to change it?
So
that is the difficult part.
So what must the person do? This is not my passion. I've been forced to do it. I'm still not interested. What should I do?
Is that what the child said? He said the passion is to do the fashion design.
Yes.
And it's the parent who is asking him to stop.
Made
him do something BC. The building.
So he started with the building.
Yes.
And he wants to change it.
Because that's not his passion. He's still not comfortable continuing.
In fact, if the system allows it, then
the first thing that they have to do is, number one, the parents have to be convinced. Because the parents themselves has to say
no, where he is now, he doesn't need the conviction of the parent, because he's in school in Form 2.
Yes. Okay. If the system
and according to him, the child is not comfortable, still not happy with what they are doing. Should they just continue and complete the?
Let me add this. Okay, let me add this. You see, the other time I was even contemplating on this 3 years thing. If through this counseling program, we can even extend the school to 4 years, it will be better. Because by the time the child, unless maybe we do the career counseling very well, so by the time the child even enters JHS 1, he knows what he wants to do. And maybe to introduce some of the TVET subject into the JHS system.
And the child wants
so that from the JHS, before the child even enters SHS, you the parents know that your child is good in this area.
Okay.
So it cannot even come in to change anything.
To change anything,
but
great.
as it is now, that's why I'm asking whether the system
permits
the child to change from that area.
I think, Mr. Kwaba, you've been saying something on this station, on this program, for some time now, about parents allowing their children to choose the course. You see, you have pushed the girl or the person to the gentleman to choose a course that he doesn't like. Now he's gotten to a point and he still doesn't like it.
So
you've actually worried.
And that's what there's a statement that I hear in Ghanaian English all the time, is that this person is a frustrated this or disappointed that. Mm-hmm. There are too many disappointed and frustrated people in our society. And a lot of it is coming from one side being financial, monetary, and the other side being family. I know that our families are beautiful and they're strong and they're there to support us. But I still, for the life of me, cannot understand why we force our children to do things just because we think is best, when we ourselves, excuse me to say, are the half blind leading the blind. You yourself, madam, where's your degree? You without the degree, how are you telling this young person how to get their degree? You who have a degree but has not done research on education in the last 20 years, why are you telling your child who's always seen the research in their school that they are not good enough to make their own decision? You see? We have to have a balance. Yes, you are the parents and you are in charge, and it's your decision.
It's your money.
But you will have to do what? Take the counseling from the counselor and from your child. Your child is the one who's done the research.
So can we say that henceforth, I think that whether we have counselors in the schools, this particular school or whatever, as a parent, before you try to choose any course or whatever, you need to see a counselor.
Yes.
Before you do that, it should be something you do.
Yes.
It's not something you just saw. I understand that they make a lot of money, so go and do that.
And if
one.
you are well read and you are literate and you have the internet, do research with your child.
Yeah.
Sit there and make it an assignment. Tell your child, you know what, I don't agree with you, but if you are good at communicating what you truly want, and you can convince me at, that means you're smart enough, I'll let you do it. So tell your child, you have 1 week, prove to me.
But you know something that happened.
Prove it.
Yeah, sure. At Achimota School last week, Saturday, we were there for a PTA meeting, and they invited personnel from some of the universities. Ashesi University was there. Other Legon was there. I think Cape Coast University was there. Other universities were there to talk to parents. Parent, you are sitting with your child, and they were talking to us and telling us courses that they run there and options and all that. So I think that if every school is doing that, it will also help.
That is why I'm saying that the second piece would be the career and tertiary counselor, who will be bringing the universities in, who will be calling the university and say, can you talk to this parent for me?
Yeah.
Can you show me the brochure? Can you prove to this parent? For example, we went to a school and they had their agric students not doing biology. And I was with one professor, and the professor said, that child can't go to KUST. He can't. Why? Because if you do agric here and you don't do biology, you will not be allowed to do agric at Tech. And even the teachers themselves astonished, mouth on the floor. Then he said, look, your animal husbandry, they cannot do veterinary. If you don't do biology and animal husbandry, we will not allow you to do vet. So now these students, even if they get A1 all the way down, no school for them.
And they will say, I didn't get my fair share if they were in the...
You see?
Yeah.
But it only takes one strong counselor to give them the information. It only takes even an outside counselor to come to the school, explain it to the teachers explain it to the students. We go through the rules and we explain to our parents and we say, they'll say, somebody might say biology is too hard for my child. And then you tell them that if they do agric without biology, they will not have an opportunity to go to half of the universities in Ghana.
Okay.
So either they do biology or we send them to a technical school which they can do this and do that and do this. At least they know their options. So this all goes back to the parents and the students being given enough information and our schools being hubs of information. Right now, parents don't come to schools and schools don't come to parents. And schools also don't go into the industry. Do you know, for example...
Our time is up.
Oh, no. I was going to say something about NSS.
No, just end it and conclude. And
I was going to say that I was speaking to the NSS head, and Honorable told me that there are so many private institutions that need mathematicians, right? But we are the same country stopping people from doing math in secondary schools.
Wow.
You see, we have too many nurses, we can't deploy them. We have too many teachers, we can't deploy them. We don't have enough physicists, enough engineers, enough mathematicians, enough even lawyers and the rest. But we won't let the students take the courses. What is wrong with us?
What is wrong with us? Madam, your final words then.
Oh, my final word is about the I think the last one that he didn't mention is about the guidance.
Yes.
The guidance is information giving, employability skills, soft skills, and we need it as a country because we have to change our mindset. Everybody wants to blame his problem on somebody.
Yeah.
But as a counselor, if you go through counseling, you see that you can't blame your problem on any other person because you've been given enough information and you made your choice. So I think the guidance aspect is also very, very important
yeah.
about employability skills, leadership, honesty, truthfulness, and how teamwork and all that. We should learn from school, from the primary school, so that when we grow up, we'll not depart from.
God bless you so much. And that is Madam Gifty Mensah, who is a national coordinator for guidance and career counseling, Ghana TVET service. And then Mr. Aaron Chum Akwabua, the strategic and innovation director at the Ministry of Education. I want to say a big thank you, Honorable Dr. Yao Ose Educhum, for this powerful program. This is a great initiative. We are going to see you again next week. But the good news is, Ministry of Education has a maiden edition of the Transformation Agenda series, a documentary that is going to be shown every Saturday on GTV. So tonight, 8 p.m., watch GTV. You'll be amazed. There are things that are happening in this country you have no idea. Just go on GTV 8 p.m. tonight. It will shock you what is happening in this country. Take care of yourself. Thank you very much, my team. You've done a very great job today. Thanks to all those who called us. God bless you so much. See you again next week for another beautiful conversation. I'm Ibrahim Edu, and I'm out.